Hello, greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another edition of Eat the Week. I'm your host, Harry Fruity Guy, and this is a long-awaited pasty versus pasty episode because I haven't had a pasty since the last episode. I think that's probably true, don't you? So yep. It's been a long time, and I live in Cornwall. It's sunny, so we've just been out doing chores. And there were tourists everywhere, and I couldn't be bothered to buy real food shopping. So I thought, well, there's nothing realer than a pasty. So today it's Prima versus Prima. Now, I know a lot of the Cornish locals might turn their noses up at Prima, but they actually make a pretty good pasty. This one here is a chicken and veg. I've never had a chicken pasty. I've always gone for steak. So, and this one is your traditional steak. So I'll bring them over so you can see what's what. Oh, look at that. I mean, I have big hands, so the scale, that, I mean, you know, my hand doesn't quite cover that. That's the steak one. That is hefty, you know. So, and that's the chicken one, slightly smaller, but let's get it on. So, oh, we also got some duck heads from a place called Terrace Farm. If you haven't had duck heads, they're about twice the price of normal eggs, but they are absolutely divine. Look at these. Blue duck eggs. They taste lush, and the consistency is a lot more kind of, dare I say, meatier, but they're a lot more substantial than chicken eggs. Right, okay, let's get into these. So it goes to steak one. Oh, that's full to the brim. Oh, that looks like a good one. Nice and hot. Oh, wow. Look at that. Who doesn't like a steak pasty, eh? That's a steak. I'll just cut the chicken one. So my head's out of frame, but it's not about my head. It's about these amazing pasties. So, yeah, not great big chunks of chicken, like kind of smallish compared to the steak, but it's all in the tasting. So let's go. Right, I'll start with this one as I've never had a chicken pasty before. So it smells nice. Got some herbs on the actual pastry. The pastry looks slightly different as well. It's less flaky. Thumbnail. I've got pasties. Holding them the wrong way around. That's really nice, actually. It's really delicate. It's not overly seasoned. I know a lot of people like really peppery pasties. I don't. I don't know. I feel like if you over pepper a pasty, it's almost disguising the quality of the ingredients inside. I like salt and pepper, but you know, if all you can taste is pepper, I like to taste the steak or the chicken or whatever. That was really nice. It's really delicate. It's not fatty, not greasy at all. The pastry's really good. Filling's really good. I prefer my vegetables a little bit chunkier, to be honest, but that's just personal preference. I really like the winter vegetable style pasty, and you do too, as well. Yeah. So, this steak one looks pretty good though. I mean, have another look at that just before I take a nom into that. That's perfect. Oh, that's really good. So, the battle of pasty versus pasty was won once again by a steak pasty. You just can't beat it. It's the chicken's great if you want an alternative. There's nothing wrong with it, but that steak has just got like a nice chew to it. It's nice chunky steak. There's a lot going on there. I just prefer that over the chicken one. But as I said, I wouldn't turn any of them down. They're great, but that one just does a lot more a lot more meat in it, a lot more bite, and like just bigger chunks. I think this one's like a veg pasty with tiny little. It's weird that. I mean, that's the piece of chicken that's in there. It's hardly enough to flavour it. So it tastes like a veg pasty with a tiny bit of chicken for him. So yeah, with big chunks of chicken breast, that would be better. But there you go. So Prima have won, obviously, because it's Prima versus Prima, but it's steak versus chicken. And steak versus chicken wins most battles, let's face it. So right, I'm going to get my face into these. I might even crack a beer and squash a grape. Who knows? So there you go. Thanks for watching. Prima are pretty good. They're available everywhere in Cornwall. And if you've got the app Too Good To Go, you can basically pick up like pasties and stuff like that for, you know, £3.50 from hundreds of different like pasty locations over the county, because that's all we sell, it seems. Although we did pick up some mushrooms on Too Good To Go the other day that were really nice, some oyster mushrooms. But there you go. So if you want cheap pasties, download the Too Good To Go app and then like pick them up between like 4:30 and 5:30, and you'll get some really good bargains, like whole bags of pasties for what you pay for one pasty. So right, I'm going to get these in my face, and yeah, and then have a beer. So hope you all have a good weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, so this is like an add-on. Now I've got into this, after just having a couple of bites, the steak is definitely better than the chicken. The chicken just didn't have enough chicken in it, it just tasted like a veg pasty. Not really into the pastry on this one. I haven't charted you know, the pasties in previous episodes, but I'd say there's no way this beats like anything that I've had before. So I'd say that Prima are kind of quite low on the pasty scale. It's a stomach filler. So if you come into Cornwall and you want to try a real pasty, don't go for, I think Prima seem to be like made in a factory or something like that. I don't know. They're not like a small pasty shop pasty. And the steak one's right, but the chicken one, you know, there was so little chicken in it. I just put it there. It's there on the plate now. But yeah, it's probably, and the steak one's really peppery as well. It's just got, I've just started, you know. Once I troughed into it, I think the first 2 bites weren't enough for it to hit my palate. So I wouldn't rush out to buy them again. So, but stuff like Denzel Trevivic, we've been told to go down to Gear Farm as well and try them, but it's like almost an hour drive, so we will do that. But I was literally just passing somewhere and I was hungry today, so that's why we checked these ones out. But I felt strongly enough about these pasties to come back on camera and say, don't bother. There's much better pasties than Prima in Cornwall. It's like, so if you're starving and you've got no option, then go for it. It's like, you know, it's not majorly offensive, but it's not majorly good either. So yeah, that's the final verdict. I mean, if I had to score them, I'd probably only give them like 2.5 out of 10, and I think that's generous. So there you go. That's an honest opinion after actually eating a whole one or most of it. So there you go. So firm but fair. That's the way it's got to be. Otherwise, what's the point of reviewing stuff? So see you in a bit.